Hello, at last. It finally decided it would work. Oh, let's see if it's working on the laptop as well. You never know your luck. It may well do. Okay, as you can probably hear, I've got a bit of a cold. So I'm going to be keeping it short and sweet this week. I'm also very shaky today because I was prescribed ear stuck, so I think I'm going to give it a go. Oh, it's come back on. I'm hoping you can see it. I'm not entirely sure. If you can see and hear me okay, could you give me a thumbs up, please? Afternoon, Kate. Oh, somebody can. Right, let me switch this around because everything's moved and I don't know where anything is now. Oh, gosh, what am I doing? There it is. Okay, so back to what I was trying to say. This week I have on my desk found a piece of the, oh, that light's no good, is it? Let's turn that off. That's just making it worse. Oh, it's very shadowy, sorry. Do you like it better with the light or without? Hi, Becky. Hi, Andrea. With light or without? Let me get that plugged in and I can get this show on the road. Okay, right. So this is the kit I was talking about. It's the Christmas Everywhere kit, and we used it last week and the week before. And when I was having a little mooch around my table, because I was trying to tidy up and get ready for another class, I spied this. It's the leftover piece from the die cuts. And I thought, oh, I saw somebody do something with something similar like with that. Well, Ware's was actually a mask. But I'm going to turn this into my mask and see if I can recreate a card. So I have some colour combos for you to decide on. We could go for the Pretty Peacock Lost Lagoon Pool Party version. That's option 1. We have the Orchid Oasis Highland Heather Fresh Freesia for option 2. Or, let's move those up a little bit so you can still see them. Or we have Parakeet Party, Granny Apple Green and Shaded Spruce. And so, the first one that replies to me will get the choice. So, I also have on hand my trusty bone folder, some sticky notes and some pre-cut card panels. And, well, 2 card panels and 2 card bases, because I was a bit tired and croaky, so I'm not going to overdo it. Hi, Lynn. What colour combo would you like me to use? Fresh Freesia, Highland Heather, Orchid Oasis, Parakeet Party, Granny Apple Green, or Pretty Peacock, Lost Lagoon and Pool Party? I hope somebody's... And this is what we're going to use as our mask. And I'm also going to use... I will need one of these. Let me grab that before I forget about it and then get cross. Oh, Lynn. I think Lynn was first. Lynn said the Fresh Freesia. We'll do the Lost Lagoon after, Kay. Lost Lagoon after. We'll do Fresh Freesia first. Oh, yes, but it's... I know what I mean. My brain is addled. You'll have to bear with. Okay, I have some blending brushes. I have the ink pads in a light, mid and dark tone, because that's just the way I like to work. And I have my mask. So I'm going to take my piece of cardstock, and I have got some small and some large post-it notes, sticky notes. Let's get these pens sorted out. That sounds about right. Okay, we're going to use this tree and this tree. So, but what I'm going to do is, first of all, is I'm going to mask off the area around the tree on the mask, because I don't want it going where I'm blending to be going through any of the other holes. So I'm just going to cover them up. I love me a good post-it note, sticky notes, whatever we call them. They're such a crafter's, so useful to a crafter, I think. And I'm going to work on the landscape for this. So I'm going to place my piece of cardstock on my grid paper, and I'm going to use the grid paper. I don't know if you can see, but it has a cross down it and a line. So I'm going to try and equal this up. That's 7. That's almost halfway. So that's my midline, and I want my tree to come halfway down. Might not be the straightest work today, because as I say, the steroids are making me very super shaky. So we're going to cover that bit off as well. And I'm going to start by blending my Orchid Oasis ink. Just give that a bit of a check out there. Yep, that's working. So I'm just going to hold this down, because it's cardstock, it's not as thin as a mask might be. So let's just add a bit of colour at the bottom. So I want it to be nice and dark along that very bottom edge. So let's give it another bit of colour there. That's it. This is quite a quick process. It's not going to take an hour in a day, I hope. And then we're going to go with the Highland Heather. Yep. And start off again and colour that midsection. And we'll blend those two together slightly there. And we'll add a little bit more of the fresh freesia. Starting off working in small areas as always. Quite like that. That looks quite nice. Well, I think it looks nice. I hope you do too. Oh. Good morning, Carmela. It's dark. We've got the curtains closed. It's almost tea time here in the UK. Where are you? I can't remember where you're from, Carmela. I'm sorry. That's very rude of me, isn't it? Terribly sorry. My fresh freesia looks as though it's drying a little bit out. So do I like that? I'm going to go over there. I think that looks quite good, but let's add a little bit more of the Highland Heather just to get a deeper shade there to show off this pretty fresh freesia purple. Okay, so excuse me please while I just have a quick sneeze. Sorry about that, guys. Oh, and I need a drink. Really? I thought I'd last more than 5 minutes, but I obviously can't. Did you all have a good weekend? I did. I had a great time Saturday morning at the Stamping Up event with Kay. And there we have the first of our Christmas trees. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a ruler and a pencil, and we're going to put a line back in the middle, and we're just going to very gently, all I'm going to do is very gently draw a pencil line here and here. That's so that you probably won't be able to see it on the screen, but it's just so I can get my trees on the same line, because I'm going to put 3 trees. This is a quick and simple card, and I'm going to repeat the process. So, as I was saying, we had a great weekend. We learnt loads. had quite a few giggles, and we had the best bit of all, we got to see the upcoming spring catalogue early. One of the perks of being a demo. We saw some great inspiration from fellow demonstrators and some of the people who work at Stampin' Up. We found out quite a lot about the business. So all in all, it was actually a really fun day. Early start, because they're in America and we're in Europe, and they started it for the European market, which of course we're behind as well. We're not even on the same time zone as the rest of Europe. But I have to say it was very good. I did enjoy myself. Good company, because we were there as a team on Zoom. So that was nice as well. So there's tree number 2 done. We now have 2 trees. Let's go for our 3rd tree. And we're going to go about there. And process again. So I like to start with my darkest one at the bottom, but of course you could start with your darkest colour at the top. It is entirely up to you. I do want quite a lot of the dark to be dark. The mid-tone, I'm hoping, is showing you that it blends beautifully together with these colours. And if I go back in with the darker colour and take off some of the ink before I get there, I can blend those edges quite nicely. Let's go back in from the other side on this. It's not going to be perfect, and that's okay. So back in, round and round, and colour in the space. Now, one of my favourite things to do with a blended background is to splatter water onto them. I like the effect, but this is a Christmas card, or it will be when I've finished. So I'm just closing up ink pads so I don't get in too much of a mess, and put my blending brushes away so that they don't get under my arms and caught anywhere. So what I'm going to bring out is my trusty Wink of Stella pen. So instead of splashing it with water, I'm going to splatter it with some Wink of Stella. So I'm not doing it over my work, because if the droplet falls, it's going to make a big mess. So I'm just going to squeeze a little bit of the ink. Oh, this boy's running out. Is there another one? Of course there will be somewhere. I have lots of them. I like them. It's one of my go-to for glimmers. I think I probably... Ah, there it is. It's coming now. I'm just splattering my tree with some Wink of Stella whilst the mask is on. Then I'm going to lift up my mask. Oh, no, wrong piece. I don't want to lift that bit up. I want to lift the whole piece of mask up, the piece underneath as well. And then I'm going to go over to the middle one that I did first, and I'm going to cover that back up like that. And I'm going to splatter this one as well. Don't know if this is all showing up on the screen. I hope it is. I hope the thing is still moving, because I can't see if it's working or not. Am I talking to myself? Hang on, I'm just having a look on the laptop to see if it's still there. Is it working? Yeah. Okay, so I got the splatters going. That's number 2. Now let's get number 3 done. Now, another piece of basic kit that I think all crafters should have is a fine tip pencil and ruler and a good rubber to erase those lines that we put on. Okay, I think that'll do. There we have it. That's the mask. We're not going to throw that away because we're going to reuse that. We're going to grab our rubber and we're going to very carefully rub out our pencil marks. Now there are, oh, that was a dirty rubber. That's not good. Don't like that. I'm going to bring in my sand rubber just to get rid of that drop of ink that was on there. Looks like it's time to get a new rubber, Cary. I have worn this one out quite well. There we go. So it's not perfect, it's not perfectly straight, but it is very pretty, I think. Now, we have two options. So, in the picture I saw, the lady took a pen and drew around her shape. Now, I'm very shaky today. Am I going to be able to do that? Not sure. But what I did think I could do was stamp one of these in there, but they're not quite big enough, are they? So we're just going to have to give it a go. And all I'm going to do is I'm not going to worry. I'm going to start halfway round. As you see, I am very shaky. So all I'm doing is literally drawing round my tree. I do think I've just spoilt that. So let's try doing it on the inside. Does that make it better? Because, you know, we learn as we go. So, do we like them on the inside or the outside? What do we think? Decisions. See, that's just so shaky. So sorry about that. What do I like? What do you like? First one that tells me, out or in. I can make this work. I got a plan. I just need to know for that last one. Okay. Use the mask to draw. Good thoughts. But I want this to be quite freehand. And Lynn said out. And it's Lynn's colour choices. So Lynn got there first, I do believe. No. So we got 2 in, 2 out and 1 in. So what I'm going to do is just put some crosshatchy kind of lines on it, so mimic stitching and such things. Not that I do much of it, but there we have it. Now we're going to take our sentiment. I'm going to grab some black ink. Oh, let me close that a bit so I can see. So, black ink, sentiment. I think we're going to keep it very simple and go Merry Christmas. Why not? Because I was getting a bit shaky shake. So, line up my piece of paper on the grid, put my block onto my stamp and grab that because that's just added a bit of colour on there and I don't want it there. There's that, that's okay. So tap, 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 tap. Generously inked. I do need my little mat and a piece of cloth to get rid of that ink that I've gone on there. Oh, I do so well today. Quick huff. Make sure that's as straight as I think it should be. And 1, 2, 3. Merry Christmas. Let's do the merry. Sentiment down. Block on. Add the ink. Tap, 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 tap. Always do the kissing if you've got juicy pads. Lid on the ink pad. Wipe the block. That's one of the reasons I like using smaller blocks Small blocks with small sentiments, large blocks with big sentiments. Let's see if we can get this on here without. 1, 2, 3. There, sorted. And pop that to one side because I'll probably use that in a minute. Now, my piece of my paper at the moment is a 10 by 14.4. So it goes just inside. I think I'm going to trim that down a fraction. Just going to take 0.5 centimetre because it's not quite equal on those sides. So if I take 0.5 centimetre or a centimetre, oh, I could go a centimetre. Do I want to go that far? No, I think we'll try 0.5 centimetre first. You can always take away some more, but you cannot add any. No, I'm going to go for the centimetre. Go for it. Probably can't see any of this because my trimmer's probably out of view. So I've trimmed the sides and now I'm just going to trim. Hi, Peggy! Use the mask to draw. Oh, the problem with having my camera around this way is I can't see the comments as well.
Kay's foot would look nice in silver too.
Silver would be pretty, yes. So I'm going to take 0.5 centimetre off the top, 0.5 centimetre off the bottom. So we have now a smaller panel. Okay, we're going to place that on there. And this is going to be a super... Now, I don't like this ridgy bit that I've created there. So all I'm going to do is bring out my mat again and my bone folder, and I'm just going to run it along that edge. It's just where the trimmer has a gully and the blade goes, pulls the paper into it and up the other side, squishes, just squishes. Now, how simple is that? Oh, I like it. Do we want some more bling on it though? We definitely want some 3D foam because it's got to stand up. But do we want more bling? Or should we just leave it at that? What do we reckon? Let's put some 3D on there first. I'll get that one out of the way. Get it mounted up. And go from there. We can always add, can't we? So we'll use my grid paper as always to line up. Let's get rid of that out of the view. Line up like that. And then place that on top. Yep. So there you go. Not sure if you see the sparkles, but in real life it does sparkle. And I've come to terms with my shaky hands, and I think that looks quite effective. Don't know about you guys, but it made me happy, made me smile. Okay. So we'll leave that to one side. And let's go back to our masks again. Now, I am going to get rid of these papers because I'm changing my colours. But if you were doing multiples, and wouldn't that make a superb multiple card technique? Bling for the top of the tree for stars. Yeah, I was kind of thinking that too. Shall we just put this away and just... what sort of bling? What sort of bling? Ah, I think I might have some bling somewhere. What have I done with it? Oh, right in front of me, under my nose, where it usually is. No. No, not there. There, yeah. I have some white snowflakes. What do you think about those? Let's see what they look like, shall we? Don't know if they'll work, but they might work. It's not very blingy, that's the only thing. But I do quite like the shapes. not a star, it's a snowflake. No, don't like that. Take that off. Put that away, Cary. Deal with that later. Let's find some good old-fashioned rhinestones. Sorry, you're getting a lovely picture of my arm. Oh, what about... No. Stick to what you saw in the first place. It often is the best option until you can't find what you're looking for, that is. I've got to go with good old rhinestones. Back to basics. As you can see, I use mine and cut them up and throw in the little bits and all sorts. I think we could possibly go have a look at using a large one. Large one. Yeah, looks quite nice. Now, I don't know if I like that. What do you guys think? I'm going to do what I often do in this situation. I'm going to leave it there for a moment. And I'm going to go and see what other gems I can find. I've now stuck the back of the stamp packet to the gem packet. And see what else I have in my little pot. I know I have lots in my pot. No, not those ones. Not those ones, not those ones. Nope. How dreadful is this? I have all these things and I can't decide. Possibly. Yeah, I think we'll come back to it. Let's put that to one side. Right, let's get on to card number 2. Okay, so we're going to use the same technique as masking and covering our trees up, but this time I wanted to do it as a portrait style card and create a forest going across. So I'm going to use this one, exactly the same process as before. Cover up my mask, mask my mask with some sticky notes. I do love a sticky note. And then grab my colour palette. This time we're going with the Pool Party Lost Lagoon Pretty Peacock. And we are going to carefully lift that up and place that in the midpoint so that I can try and get a fairly straight line. And we're going to have this about here. And we're going to start with our darkest colour again, which is our Pretty Peacock. And around. Now, I could do the trees all different colours, but I must admit I am a sucker for an ombre, if you hadn't noticed. So, Pretty Peacock, Lost Lagoon, coming through very similar. Let's add a bit more peacock at the bottom, work that one there, and then we're going to go for some Pool Party at the top. And they're kind of all blending very well together. Let's go for some more peacock at the bottom. Maybe they are a little too close in colour, who knows? But let's touch more there. Let's have a bit more there. There we go. That's me 3 colours. Let's get ink all over your fingers as you're doing it. It's always not a good job. And we're going to pull this up. That's a very smally bit there. And see what we've got. It's like Christmas. You get a surprise every time. Oh, look at that. I've managed to get that smudge on there, which I'm not going to panic about too much. My tree's got a line there. Oh, my days. What a pickle I'm in. But it's okay, because this time I'm not going to place it directly side by side. I'm actually going to layer them. So I'm going to go fractionally over the top there. So I can see just on this side, left-hand side of my left-hand side, some of the other tree. So let's just put some lovely dark colour down there. Maybe we'll just stick it a little lower. Then we'll put some of the Lost Lagoon, lift it, brush it, separate it, and then we'll top it off with some Pool Party. Pool Party is one of my favourite softer colours. I'm a brights girl, but strong colours, but I do like Pool Party. I think it works on so many levels. Okay, let's see if we can lift this up without making too much more of a mess. And I'm just going to keep going, building up my little forest until I have what I want. So let's make sure that's covered on there. So have you all finished your Christmas cards, or are you mid-panic, or are you all super organised? Someone said something the other day on a chat somewhere. Oh, I've got my cards started and blah blah blah, and another lady said, I haven't even started, I won't start until the beginning of December. And I was like, if I wasn't making cards for classes and for sharing online, I wouldn't have any either. That's just the way it goes. So, there is something on there that is marking it. Can you see? There it goes. Let's get rid of that. So we're going to go over the other side now and keep that as straight as we can. And we're going to go this way. Now, we've just got our little forest of trees growing. And this is all using the mask, is the scrap from that lovely Christmas Everywhere card kit. So that makes me very happy, because I don't like waste. And I think it's a great way for everybody to start looking at what you've got on your table. I don't know about you, but when I'm working or creating, I make a lot of mess. Yeah, up a bit. That'll do. And one more shake, that'll do. I don't like to see the bits on the table get left behind. No piece of paper left behind, shall we say. Oh, come on. There we go. That's the dark. Let's get some mid-tone. It's looking suspiciously dark at the moment. Have I swatched them around? It wouldn't be the first time I've done that. And let's get some Pool Party up there. As you can see, I am not being fussy. I am not working beautifully blending. There's some people are so talented and they can do so many things with it. Yeah, and that's not really me. I am very beginner friendly, I like to call it. In other words, I don't know what I'm doing half the time. Now I'm going to have to move that across there a bit. And that one can go down a fraction. And is now going to come off the page. And that's exactly what I want. I don't want any hard edges. I want it nice and soft. So there we go. Let's get some more of this Pool Party for the top. And then I'm going to go back to the other side and get my final tree, well, partial tree in there, like that. So here's the last little bit of dark, which is the pretty peacock, then the Lost Lagoon, and then the light tone, which is the pool party. So let me cover these ink pads up, close them up before I make more mess, which I'm very good at. Thank you, Mum. Not finished. Sorry, Peggy, what were you talking about, my love? Would you like... Sorry, Peggy, I don't think I... Oh, you've not finished making your cards. Now it makes sense. Now I know what I'm talking about. Okay, there's our trees. And I'm going to be tight. I'm not actually going to get rid of these two pieces here because I'm going to use those on the inside of my cards. But before I get to the inside of my cards, I need to have some help with the top there, that bit there. So let's see if we can rub it off with our, this is what they call a sand eraser. It can help remove inky smudges because it's basically sanding down the paper, but we're probably not going to get much more off of that one. But that's okay because I have a plan for that. Now, I do have ink everywhere, so I'm going to take a dry cloth and wipe my hands. If I add water to these inks, even on my fingers now, they will reactivate and we will get in even more mess. So let's just do that. Now, I don't want the Wink of Stella all over the card again. So this time, I'm just going to cover top and bottom, not each individual tree. And I will get some on some of the white space, and that's perfectly fine. And I can get the lid off of the Wink of Stella. That's helpful. Try and squeeze some ink down, and then just flick. Have you ever done this technique? It's using the brush. You squeeze the liquid into the barrel or pick it up out of... Oh, you had a pesky peacock in the village today, did you, Mum? Squeeze or dab your moisture onto your brush. Drop it into the inside of the lid. Can you see that? I don't know if you can see this. I got a little bit of liquid there. And all I'm going to do is use my brush to flick it over what I'm working on or where I want it to go. It does go far and wide, be warned. It can be a bit of a menace, but it's okay, we don't mind. So we have our panel, we have our card.
Your mum's put 6, Mum and babies.
Mum and babies, oh wow, how fab. Okay, let's grab a piece of scrap cardstock. I have here my very cute bear punch. I love this little punch. I think it's so fun. So I'm on to decorating now. So that's my bear. He's going to be strolling through the forest in a minute. Because before we get to that, we're going to draw on some eyes and nose for him. When I can find where I put my pen. And stamp a sentiment. Oh, there's the pen. Okay. That goes there. I'm going to use the fine tip. And I'm going to colour in the tip of his nose. Just that tip there. I'm going to do him a little ear. And I'm going to put him an eye. So that is my version of a polar bear. I'm then going to take my Wink of Stella and I'm going to colour him in. I'm going to make him all shiny. I am just brushing the brush all over the piece. Being careful not to pick up any ink from anywhere, because it will pick up the ink on the paper and move it around. Now, it hopefully won't go too bad there, because I was very quick and light. Just make sure we've got it behind them. So we'll pop our sparkly bear to one side. We'll take our sentiment. We'll start with Christmas again. Get my purple mat in and ink him up. Make sure he's reading the right way. And where that smudge was, I'm going to kind of 1, 2, 3 make him disappear. Hopefully he'll disappear. So let's do the same for the Mary. Down, ink it up. 1, 2, 3. Get rid of some of this ink excess here, because I'm getting a mess. Quick huff. Do I want them? Oh, do I want the Mary up there? Oh, now I've got a quandary. Do I put my Mary there? And I want to put my bear there. And yes, I think I will do that, because that gives me a nice triangle. And I'm rather partial to a triangle on cards. 1, 2, 3. Done. Okay, let's grab the card base, which has now got a big smudge. Oh, look, I got it all on there, but that's all right, because I'm going to cover it up with that. And find the sticky pads, 3D foam, dimensionals we call them, sticky pads, whatever. They give me a bit of a height, and I like that. Right. Get rid of the backings. Oh, look at the ink on my fingers. You don't have to be this messy when you craft. It just comes naturally to me. So I'm going to line up my card base using my grid paper. I'm going to cover up that big splodge. That down. I'm going to take my lovely little polar bear and put some 3D foam on him. Get another one on there. And set him walking across in his forest. There. What do you think of that one? In real life, this is super sparkly, but I really like that. I'm very happy with the way that turned out. And I'm going to go back to my first choice of things, and I'm going to stick some snowflakes on the background, just because I can. Oh, now I've got sticky bits stuck in there. Oh dear, I am in a pickle, and over here, and I think that's that. I like that card. I think that's nice and easy, simples. Let's go back to our first one. Would we like these white ones or rhinestones? You like them both, super cute. Thank you, they're lovely things to say. Just going to nip that off of there for a moment and see what I think of these. Which do you prefer? That or this? That or this? Or we could go for the bigger one. I prefer, I'm going to go, you liking this, are you? You're liking the rhinestones. Okay, we'll leave the rhinestones there. And I will put these back on the sheet. These are beautiful tinsel gems, they're very nice. There we go. And now that's the cards made. You could leave them there. You don't have to do anything else. But I fancy cutting around the mask that we used. I'm going to follow the lines. So it's really simple stamp, simple, not fussy cutting per se. We're going to use this on the inside of our card because we don't want to waste it because it's very pretty. So we'll use that one on the inside of there, and we're going to use this one on the inside of the purple one. But I still have all these trees on here left to play with for another day. So they'll be going. It
says, have you got the gold stars? Sadly not.
Sadly, I don't have the gold stars, no. Every time I tried to get them, they were out of stock. Because did you purchase all of them, Kay? Yeah. Yeah. I've got to get going. So I'm going to stick that on the inside of my card. This one has got some sparkle on it when my glue works. There we go, just a little bit round the outside. I'm just going to place him in the bottom left corner. So he'll just mirror from the outside in. I'm going to take my pen, and this time I am going to draw inside the line of the mask. See, I do listen to what you guys say to me, and my shakes are a lot better, so that's helpful. But I don't actually mind them when I'm doing this kind of thing, because I quite like them like that. So that's the inside of that one. And let's get the inside of... Now, this one doesn't have any glitter on it. We need some glitter, don't we? We need that to be Wincastellary. So let's give it a few splashes. See what I mean about if it blobs, you pick up loads. Yeah, that'll do. Give it a quick puff. It's alcohol based at the moment. No, it's not. It's water based, so it will dry. And we're going to place that in that bottom corner down there. Some glue. And pop that in the corner. And we're not going to do any drawing on that one because we did... Oh, no, I'm trying to put the lid of the pen on the lid of the glue. What a banana. Ah, here we go. So, there you have it. 2 cards. Same technique. Variations on the same technique. You only got 1 lot. You were lucky. Okay. I hope you like those. I'm loving the colour combos. I love how the blending looks so pretty. I hope you've enjoyed that, and maybe you'll feel a little inspired to not automatically throw out all of your rubbish. I'm not even going to throw this away. I'm going to put it back in the box and see what else I can come up with. So there we have it. We have the Lost Lagoon, Pool Party, Pretty Peacock and White version. There is something there, but I'm frightened of touching it with my messy hands, with some sparkly bear, crispy bear. And on the inside, and we have our Orchid Oasis, Highland Heather and Fresh Freesia version with some hand-drawn lines. And that one on the inside. So I hope you've enjoyed that and you love the colours. Great. Oh, thank you, Lynn. Thank you, Ali. I'd like to wish you all a good week, and if you have any ideas of anything you'd like me to show, share, techniques, folds, anything like that, drop us in the comments and I will do my best to help. Anyway, take care. Have a good week. Bye.